as we jump back in here, we see both teams again. It seems to be mirrored every time now, just heading down middle, seeing who can get the first poke on, and then into the jungle, and we'll have to see how that happens. We can see vision for both teams here. It looks like already one ward, no, not a ward, I'm sorry. That is Caitlyn Trap has been paced by blue, and that's usually where you pull that golem in to take it down, so nobody can see you until they get there. A very good move, very strategic. Wards are also going down towards Wraith, and they are going to be able to block anything that comes from there. It looks like they are doing a pretty aggressive, just defensive strat here. Wouldn't be aggressive, more defensive, but they are ready to take somebody out as soon as they cross that river, or possibly initiate into the river once they make it. 30 seconds till the minions go on, so there's definitely a lot of time, and they do have some movement. I don't believe that Ward will be able to see them just yet. I think it's just on the outer edge. Caitlyn going around. That is Big Fat LP is going to put one down right on that ward as well. That's going to give them full vision and a little bit of time to get to that area if they need so.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like either of the teams are really looking for a level 1 fight. Fnatic were in position there in case CLG would have come and face check the push. It's been known to happen, but yeah, no fights really necessary here. And Cyanide is just going to eat the first Wolf here and then run up to Golem and have a perfect time to kill Golem as well. Oh, and he even gets the assist from Shushay. That is very nice. Nice team play here, and that's going to make Cyanide's jungle that much faster.
Yeah, it really matters how your jungle is going through the game. If you're thrown off just a little bit, or you don't get the buff you need, it really hinders your ability to get around the map. As we said, you know, you're not going to have the full item build as you're in the jungle unless you're in the lanes really conducting your ganks 100%. And again, more help and a leash for the blue on Cyanide. Great teamwork here coming out of the hands of Fnatic in the beginning of the game. And it looks like Alistar is left, you know, go to his own jungle. It is going to be Gragas versus Annie in mid. Very nice. Vlad versus Swain up top, and the support carry lanes down bottom, Janna, Caitlyn, and Ashe, and Sona.
This was great, actually. I wanted to talk about the jungle a little bit more. With this amount of support, the level 2 game for Nunu will come much quicker than CLG are expecting it. And where is he going? Oh, there is a ward there, but he's not going there. So he is going to top lane. That is the normal rotation for Nunu. Take Golem, do a level 2 gank, or eat a Golem. And I think he's going to go and eat a Golem right here. And that's going to slow Warwick down some more.
Yeah, this will definitely help. Able to, as I said, hinder that jungle path of Warwick. He's over now getting his blue. It looks like he's actually dodged the Caitlyn, or actually doesn't have to dodge it. Just Caitlyn is on his team, but he is able to get that blue, knowing it wasn't going down and nobody has been in that position. Elements taking a good amount of damage from the Gragas barrels at this point. And Gragas, a little bit of health taken down as well. Annie holding that stun up. Whenever you see that blue around her waist, that means she does have a stun ability from her passive. And it looks like Swain is giving Vlad a little bit of trouble here, pushing the lane quite hard, trying to get those minions pushed into the turret. So the turret is the one feeding off the minions, and Chaucer will not be able to get those last hits in. And he is going to level. It looks like Gragas is backing pretty far. He may be going, no, just waiting for the minions. It looks like he may have backed to get something if he had some good last hits from now. But he will not be doing that. Everybody's about level 3, level 2 in the game, as they are all just leveling at the same. Warwick to head in his jungle, and really nothing too much aggressiveness right now. Everything played very cautiously because this means a lot for both teams.
Look how far back CLG are pushed already. The Swain versus Vlad lane apparently working exactly like Fnatic wanted it to be. Fnatic really considers Swain a counter to Vladimir, and it seems to be working. Vladimir obviously a little bit underpowered until he hits level 6 or 7. So we'll have to see how it goes after that point. But XP is going to try and mess with this early game before it even gets to that point. A lot of sustain here from Gragas in lane, of course. It looks like there was a disconnect. Strange. He seemed to be moving just fine. A lot of sustain, obviously. Every time Gragas uses one of his spells, he regenerates a little bit of health, and that just means he can be safe in the lane even if he takes a little bit of damage from Annie. And the barrel, if it's used properly, it's really good at both farming and harassing the enemy at the same time. It looks like Nunu is coming up for a level 4 gank here on Vladimir, and they're not going to kill him. He still has his pool. But
oh wow! A very nice never move coming out of the hands. I don't think Cyanide thought that was going to happen, or he kind of turned away right before the Ice Blast got away, and they weren't able to do the damage required. Great timing by XPK on that. The Sanguine Pool used a little early, but he still would have taken a lot of damage nonetheless. They had really good positioning on that gank.
Oh, now Nunu coming in from behind for a gank on Annie. But Warwick at the same time also waiting in the sides, and I think this is probably This could be dire for... No, he gets away. The red buff was not enough to stop the blood boil. So a double gank that ended up with no kills.
As we head down to look towards bottom lane, really no damage being done here. Pretty docile lane as they just kind of poke at each other and the health is just given back. We do see that Caitlyn has that Doran, so she doesn't really have to worry too much as long as she can get a lot of shots on. And she has been doing that, pushing the lane quite hard at this point. And it just seems like control really not in anybody's favor right now. It's just going back and forth as the minion waves can keep spawning. They're going to move back into mid on that one, and they're going to be right at the river where they want to be. You almost want to be a little bit towards your side, so you have the protection of your turret. You know, Swain actually has it right where he wants right now. If it wasn't to move from there, he'd be very happy farming in that position. You don't have to cross a river, and you know, they're forced to stay in the top bush. You don't have to worry about them. You may have to call AFK, but you know that's only going to assist your team. Really a great position to be in while farming.
And I have to point out that XP still has one of his 3 original potions, while Vlad already had to go back, and it looks like Vlad really not having a good time here. And for everybody who's screaming that Vlad is OP, this is a little lesson in how to counter Vlad. It's really 6-4. That is an amazing advantage.
Yeah, wow.
36 kills to 12. Yeah, Vlad's not doing well here.
Forced to go and use the Sanguine Pool. Could see Nunu coming up for a gank after this. He's definitely going to have the cooldown there. Nunu's actually on the fountain, so Vlad not really has anything to worry about. Good damage coming out of the hands of PK, but he does not have enough mana to keep the bird on. No blue buff yet. Wow, just absolutely slicing through the health of Chowster, looking to get a quick transfusion on and give himself some health back. He's going to get a little bit from that level, but not too much assistance at this point.
And the next thing that's going to happen is Blue is going to come back up. Nunu's going to prepare that. Peak is going to rotate down, pick up the blue, and just turn into Chauster's worst nightmare ever.
Yeah, no real reason for XPK to leave the lane at this point. He's got a lot of health, and it looks like he's going to be able to control this lane on the other side of the turret. Warwick coming up, however, with red buff, and Peak is going to see that, and he's going to start to move back, trying to get some last hits on the minions, rebuff on his mana, that is the passive as well, and just go ahead and back up. I believe he's got to have something to buy at this time, so he may just be blue pilling back the lane. Oh yeah, going for blue buff, so he's going to actually stay in his lane as long as possible. A nice sun up coming out of the hands of Hotshot GG. He was able to take pop up Ashe at that point in time. A big fat LP with a lot of, not too much mana under his belt, but enough to do some good damage here to Sona if they do choose to do that once more. And the minion wave, actually, as I said, went back to middle here. Sona in a good spot from Melisande, rather, to farm up some of the minions and get that in his favor.
And Vlad in the bushes here trying to blue pill. X-Peak is aware of it, and is he going to catch him? Yes. And, oh, he does not push it. Oh, yeah, he must have seen that Warwick coming. He must have smelled that Warwick coming, and he does not push it at this point. Vlad would have had pool anyway, but still, it would have hurt Vlad some more. And it would have been bad for his nerves as well. And it looks like mid lane is definitely going in favor of Gragas here with 54 to 45. And Annie being not yet behind the level, but she has to go home again. And Gragas is still happily, well, he's been home once, but he managed to buy a blasting wand already. Quick fact for you here. The blasting wand in French is called baguette explosive. And I'm not making that up. It's actually what it's called. And I find that just hilarious.
Warwick going back for his blue. Caitlyn picking up a BF sword, so that's definitely going to help the lane down bottom with a lot of damage output. However, Ashe with Sona able to get that sustainable burst heal, so they should be all right in that fact. It's going to be seen in the late game where we see Caitlyn doing a lot of that damage and staying behind the defensive lines to do that poke. A huge amount of range on her attack, so we'll see that coming from her. Gragas still in mid. It looks like they're getting a ping down on Vladimir. They believe they can take him down. 8 to 6 are the levels between Swain and Vlad right now. The Ashe arrow coming up, and he steps right in front of it. No wards were in that, so it was an unintentional dodge, but definitely a dodge that he is excited about. He probably could have pooled if it was going to hit him. You can see a lot of lads do that, and Chaucer would have had the reaction time to make that happen. LP back into lane with that BF sword, and they're going to see what kind of damage they can do to Lamia's.
That is an interesting choice here when Dagger BF sword before boots. If someone did that in my game, I would have words for them, and they would not be nice words.
Well, you do kind of have Tailwind. It's not something you can rely on from Janna,
and you have
the boots on another player or in your opposing team is definitely going to be able to catch you.
Yeah, absolutely. It may come back and haunt him, but for now it looks like he's actually winning the bot lane, which is somewhat amazing to me.
Ward placement going down. There's now one ward from each team down by Dragon. We're going to see Nunu kind of going around. No, he's going to go down towards his wolves. He's not going to go back up top towards the river. They're going to leave Vlad alone for now after harassing him, after harassing Chowster, I should say, for pretty much the whole game up top. And that's really what you need to do. You know, bottom lane is getting kind of pushed as well. A lot of damage being done there. The ultimate coming out. She's going to be able to proc a huge amount of damage from that. And Sona was taking at least a quarter of her health to half of it right there throughout the middle. And they're just going to back up on that one. It's something you see a lot of Caitlyn's do. You know you're not going to be able to get the kill, but that's very aggressive. And they now have to play a lot more careful. They can't be careful. They can't come out. Sona or Janna can get that stun up again onto Sona, and they possibly could be able to get the kill if it happens in their favor.
And I just checked here, top lane, Vlad did use his ultimate and went really aggressive on Xpeaker and forced Xpeaker to portal home. So that's a minor victory for Vlad, but still he's at 26 CS versus Xpeak 68. Not where you want to be in a top lane. I would say that top lane is probably won by Fnatic at this point. And it looks like they may actually be switching it around, or is Shuji just waiting for a gank here? Huh.
Not sure. They do see that Vlad has gone back, and they may actually try to get these minions out and then they may try to just hide in the bush and camp it out until Vlad gets back to the lane. I don't see that happening, though. They are going to push off of that one, gain some experience. Gragas is going to go ahead and flop through the wall. And he's just going to go to mid and soak up this experience. Back to his own lane. Shushay, great damage, already being able to take down the Sork minions. They are weaker than the melee minions. And we do see Warwick coming up top as well. We'll see how he can do something. If he can do something in this instance for CLG, they do need something to happen here. There is no first blood that we have seen yet. 12 minutes into the game. I think this may be one of the longest ones. Both teams absolutely playing cautious and leaving nothing to chance.
And that's what they need to do. For both teams here, the tournament is on the line. You lose this tournament, you lose this fight, this game, and you do not have a shot at the first places anymore. And that is a lot of money that people would lose here. And trust me, these guys are playing their absolute A game here. Lamia must be under a lot of pressure. He's considered a good carry, but he's not really doing that well right now. There is an early dragon from Fnatic, and there is a ward here for CLG, so they are aware of it, but they're nowhere near in position. Caitlyn is trying to go for it, and Annie also in position, barely dodges that arrow. Janna is coming in, but they... Oh, look at that, Dragon's doing too much damage, and I think... Oh god, is Silent gonna go down? And he goes down!
First blood. Continuing the fight, a great ult from Sona. It looks like they may be able to take down St. Fishes as well. Will he get away? The Ash arrow does not crit enough. Can she get a volley through the wall? And she's stopped by a Caitlyn trap. Beautiful placement by Caitlyn there with that last trap. Ash just loves cupcakes way too much. And he does go down by the Gragas barrel. However, Shushay coming up very big on the assist one right there for his team. And it's going to be a 2-1. 2 of CLG falling down. And it is going to be, it was just Cyanide, but that was first blood, a little extra gold. They were able to get 14.4K right now in favor of Fnatic, and 13.3, not too much of a difference between the money right now. We did just have our first bit of action within the game, so we're going to have to see where it goes from here. All turrets still stand on the map, and we definitely have a great game under our belt right now.
That was a little bit of hesitation there that caused Fnatic that first blood. They went for Dragon, then they went out, they went back in, and you know, Dragon is not just the victim. Dragon actually does quite some damage as well, and you could just see how low that that Nunu went there from the Dragon, and then he was just an easy pickup. Now let's see who they give this second blue to. I would normally say that they give it to Shushay, but Shushay nowhere near to this blue, so oh yeah, Xpeak is coming down right now. It does make a lot more sense to put it on Swain, but Fnatic has been known to give Shushay the blue even when it's not the best way of playing it. Let's see what Shushay can do 1v2 here.
He is just kind of hiding in the bush, feeling very comfortable about his position right now. He could just kind of flop away if he wanted to. Transfusion going down into Swain. Looks like Asher, no, going out by himself, trying to go Renegade onto Caitlyn there. It looks like we got a 2v1 up top. They will continue to push back this one. Nunu coming in, St. Vicious somewhat changing his mind, going for the ultimate. Annie's right there. Could they get the Tibbers drop? But Nunu able to get away in time after seeing that Incinerate come out of the hands of Annie.
That was very good play on Element's part, or to be there in time to join that fight, or almost join that fight. And I was a little bit surprised when St. Vicious jumped in with his ulti, but it seems that it turned out well enough for them. They got the tower out of it and they pushed 2 people back. But maybe Fnatic can pick up that mid-turner. It would be very, very dangerous, but no, I think they're probably not going to go for it.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to be done by the minions. They will get the bottom though, so they trade top and bottom tower on both sides. Very good play by both teams here. And CLG, as I said before, has to pick up their lane game. They're already doing better. In this one, the team composition seemed to be working better for them, and they're able to counter a little bit what CLG is doing, or Fnatic is doing, I should say.
Infinity Edge before boots. Really? Really? Wow. Okay, so this man wants damage. That's what he wants. That's the only thing he cares about. He just wants the damage.
Big Fat, is all about positioning right now. He has to make sure he is where he needs to be. His flash is actually down, so he's got to be even more careful at this point in time where he's going to position himself for the next fight, possibly going back. I think this may be your boots, and you can finally wipe the sweat off of your forehead and be ready for some runaround from Caitlyn.
Right, because right now Caitlyn was a tank, and I mean a tank as in that big metal thing with a big barrel that bullets come out of. That was all she was. Now she has boots, and that makes me rest a little easier here for Big Fat RP.
Indeed, she did grab her boots, but however, that Infinity Edge pretty early, 16 minutes into the game, that's going to be really great for her. They want this damage to go down early. They want to be able to over-damage Ashe, who only has that BF sword in her hand. She did go for 2 Dorans and her Zerg creeps quite early. And it looks like Shushe is kind of playing a little bit of defensive strategy as well as offensive here. The Asher are going down. Does he have his ultimate? Blasting her back. Huge amount of damage and instantly melted by Fnatic. Well played, knowing they could take that one down, not taking any damage within the fight.
That was exactly the spell really you were talking about. Point by point. You called it beautifully there, man. That was the Asher into Graga's ulti, into Never Move. It's just so much coordination. And look at that. Already the Dragon pick up again from that Caitlyn kill. I don't know, maybe Caitlyn wouldn't have been standing that far from the tower if she had level 2 boots, but I'm not gonna talk about that much more.
Yeah, I don't think the boots would have really helped her out of there, and that's what I said. She did not, Big Fat did not have his flash up.
Oh wow,
did that go to Janna? Close to that position.
Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, that was very, very close, but XP actually refreshing his blue there. Janna almost taking that with the whirlwind. That would have been amazing.
Vlad quite far pushed out. CLG playing a pretty good game right now. It is 3-1, however, in favor of Fnatic. They were able to take that fight by grabbing, as we saw, Big Fat, as he was a little overextended when the tower went down. You know, Shushe is playing a very big position game with his Gragas as well. They're kind of just, you know, Shushe's there. We don't have to worry about it too much. But he's really been the initiator for a lot of things. That Ash arrow came down, and he was able to get Shushe, or Big Fat, back into the fight, as we saw. A great kill there. And they're just going to be able to work off of that and really focus out Caitlyn in every fight. You saw how much damage she took right away.
Oh, yeah.
She's really not going to get any more defensive at this point. So we'll see what she has to do. Maybe a Banshee's fail at some point in time to really dodge that barrel.
For that first arrow, so that arrow can only be used in a team fight after her Banshees was popped. But yeah, without the Banshees, they can do this as many times as they want to, and you cannot dodge an arrow that you don't see coming. That's basically the lesson that they're gonna have to learn here. Shushe almost taken on top turret, but I think he's gonna be fine. Yeah, he has his ult. He can use it defensively. He can just dash away, and there is Sonar as well. He's fine.
2v1 and just body slam to get himself away. It's not something you really expect to think from Gragas if you were to see this game and not know what's going on. A giant man just body slamming away, being so nimble and moving. But, you know, Shushe makes it happen, and that's how the play goes. A 3 in middle versus a 2, and Nunu and a Swain to defend here against Elements. It's going to be St. Vicious and Hotshot. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Big Fat.
Interesting too that Gragas seems to want to build a Lich Bane even before the Death Cap. That is not his normal build. Normally it's either Banshees into Death Cap or Death Cap into Banshees and then the Lich Bane.
Yeah, I don't know why Chowster left that top lane. Could be doing a lot of damage right now, or saving his turret from doing or getting a lot of damage. They maybe thought there was going to be a team fight in mid, and he, yes, would be necessary for that, being one of the sustained characters and able to dish out a lot of damage as well, with his cooldowns being very low at high level on that transfusion. And that actually does a lot of damage and makes Vlad a very deceiving character to 1v1 against or even team fight against, because you think he's going to go down, you're focusing him, and then you get a heal from somewhere else. Vlad transfusions, and it's not really somebody you want to focus anymore right off the bat. We can see XPK now invading the jungle a little bit. Cyanide getting in there with his Blood Boil to lay down some wards. Looks like they're going to go back for their blue and refresh it. For XPK, his should be almost coming down by now. And power in numbers right now as they rat pack around their own jungle. CLG trying to grab some ground here.
They don't know that there's a ward in this bush, and that could go really, really bad for Fnatic right now. If CLG take the proper tipper initiative, and there it is. Oh, wow.
Exactly what Fnatic needed, or did not need at that point in time. CLG able to get a huge amount of damage out. And it looks like the chase going down to XPK. Does he dodge the Never Move? And he does, actually. He gets out alive. Swain able to make it. They're able to, however, take out one more up top. Caitlyn falls to the ground. A 2v1 situation. does Shuche have enough to move out, going into the bush and flashing out, and a blood scent from Warwick. Swain coming back in, has enough mana to ult, and can definitely do some damage if they turn around and want to fight in that one.
That ward, this ward right here, pay attention people, that ward just brought CLG back into the game. Wards, people, buy them. They
Great
win
investment.
games. Yeah, and that's exactly what I saw there. It was like, oh God, Fnatic, you can't stand there. There's a giant burning teddy bear coming from the sky for you right now. And they were just standing there waiting for it to hit. So that was the best initiation CLG could have gotten, but still, it wasn't enough. They could not decisively win that fight. And look at that, they are 5k gold behind at this point. And that is a lot of gold right there.
Yeah, Fnatic doing a very good job again of controlling those two only turrets that have gone down before. Actually, we lost one in mid, so 2 turrets down on CLG side. Fnatic starting to play their lane game once again. We saw Shuche up top going for the top tower as well. That is almost down for CLG, so they've almost lost all 3 outer turrets. And the roam game, when not being roam characters of Fnatic, as I've said before, is just playing very well for them right now and giving them advantageous opportunities.
But Ashe still not with her Infinity Edge. She is definitely behind this game. 0-1-3, that's not ideal. The Caitlyn has the Infinity Edge and the Seal already, giving her extra attack speed, move speed, and crit chance.
So you're saying it's good that she went for the Infinity Edge now?
Well, it's good that she has an Infinity Edge. She could have still built boots first, but I'm pretty sure Big Fight is better at this game than me, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing there. It was a risk. The kill against him was probably not due to boots, I'll admit that, but it's a large risk that people are taking when they delay their boots so much.
Looks like Swain is pushing top by himself. He could get the damage on this turret. The minions will do it for him. They were able to pick up more global gold right there, 28.7 or 28,700 gold to 22,900 gold. So as we said, the 6,000 difference before, it could be hurting CLG a little bit, but that's not really a big difference if you divide that up amongst everybody, unless it's all going to one person. Then you kind of got to be worried. Caitlyn traps going all around. It's really where CLG is trying to get their vision from. You see a few wards, but they're all in CLG's jungle. They're really trying to counter the invasion of Fnatic at this point in time, and Fnatic's not doing too much invading at this right now. They're able to stay in their own jungle, commit to the fights around the turrets, and really do the damage they need to do out in the open. They don't have to worry about breaking line of sight in the jungle or trying to take them off guard. And I don't think they really like the situation that happened last time when they were hiding in the top bush.
Yeah, that was not very good. And they probably thought, okay, guys, let's just play this carefully right now. If we lose this, we're out of this. It looked like they were setting up for Dragon, and yes, they're going back for Dragon, but they have to be a little bit careful with Warwick in their team. CLG can do Baron really quickly if they leave it completely open, but I think there are no wards currently. Yeah, no wards in front of Dragons. But they have a clairvoyance. They see what's up. They could be going for Baron right now, but they probably don't feel confident enough that they have damage output necessary to kill Baron. And Fnatic are coming back.
Oh man, we could have a lane pinch here. Big Fat LP taking down the turret with his team. Will they choose to go down? Warwick actually going down Sprit from his team. That would have been a very easy kill if they went to take him right there. I'm going to check. Yeah, Warwick does have his flash, so they may have just been wasting cooldowns on that with the rest of the team on the other side. They did not want the anti-drop to come over that wall. They know what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And Ashe was not quite in position yet, so probably wise of Fnatic not to engage here. But they need to take this fight. After the Dragon, they need to take this fight. And I had heard an Ashe arrow, I believe, but they would have been too far away. Oh, there it is. Oh, and it hits Big Fat LP again. But I believe he's too far away. No!
No, he's not. They stop him, and the never move again. Twice. They were able to make that combination happen. Very good placement by Fnatic, and they are just using that 1-2-3 combo, putting Caitlyn up against the ropes and not allowing her to do anything.
This is perfect play right here, and I even doubted them. I thought, no, there's no way they're going to cross this distance. But obviously, the Ashe arrow stuns for longer, the longer it travels. And that was a good travel distance there right now, and it was enough for them. And that's an inner turret going down against CLG right here.
Yeah, Fnatic doing a very good job coming out strong. CLG was able to take the first turret. Bottom turret went down quickly after, but now Fnatic again back on their lane game, back around controlling the map. We're going to see the creep score right now in favor of Fnatic. They have 3 over 150, and there's only going to be 1 person over 150 right now for CLG. So again, they're being throttled in the lanes. They're not allowed to farm, and every time they try, they're met with 5 members of Fnatic. Blue pilling, does he know? Yes, he definitely has enough time. They're not going to head in. Janna doesn't even know that nobody was there. Hotshot is like, oh, somebody may be in this bush. I'll face check it. It looks like they could be heading up towards Baron. We'll just see what they're trying to pull. They don't really see too much vision of Fnatic right now, so maybe that's what they're trying to do, get Fnatic to walk through the wards that they have placed.
It would have been a desperation Baron. They don't have Blood Razor on Warwick, and even though that Lantern proc does work against Baron, it's probably not going to be enough damage to just sneak a Baron. Fnatic will get suspicious if CLG are missing from the lanes for too long, and they'll go there and CV it or just check it. And if CLG loses a Baron fight right now, that's it, game over.
We can see in the hands of Fnatic, they have 6 wards being placed. No wards in the hands of CLG, but they are relying on that Wriggles Lantern, as you mentioned before, from Warwick. So he's only able to place them out once every so often, and he's been using that. There was one that went out at Baron that has fallen down now. I believe Sona may have an Oracle's on her as well, and I think she does. I just saw that on, unless she walked into a Caitlyn trap. But I don't think that was the case. A quick cue from the hands of Caitlyn. A great amount of critical damage. You can see 735 on the minions. And so once she gets that armor penetration within her build, she's definitely going to be able to do a ton of damage to the Nunu, a good amount of damage to the Gragas, and pretty much cut down Swain no matter what during the fight if she can stay behind the defensive line. And we said before, CLG not a very tanky team at this point, so they could easily be taken down in the fight as well by the Gragas ult. We see how much damage that does to Caitlyn. The Never Move also doing a lot of damage in the hands of Swain, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and donate the blue buff away. That should be going to Swain in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gragas now up to 364 AP with a Death Cap, Hextech Revolver, a Sheen, and another Amplifying Tone. So that's going to be set up for... Oh, let's see if that arrow connects to anything. It connects... Oh, wow. Okay, that jump, I'm just going to say it again, probably would have been too far away, but who knows? Who knows what they can make happen?
That did seem like it would have been too far away. They really would have been overextending themselves to go and get that one and try and get everybody in position in time. They have pushed CLG back to the base. They do see that this has happened. Shushay looks like he may want to initiate this, but a lot of members of Fnatic or CLG moving up, not enough time to be able to do Baron. They notice that they're all missing from the map. No wards really there, but they do have the Clairvoyance, so they can quickly make the assumption and check it out if they need to. It looks like they're all going to go back to mid. Get this push down. That's huge amount of damage on Caitlyn, taking half of her health. Tibbers goes down, and they're not able to take out anybody with that. I think that was a misclick by the hands of Elements as he threw down Tibbers in the middle of the lane out of nowhere.
I don't think so. I think he thought his team was ready, but they just weren't, and they were so scared of that barrel that they just moved back. The Tibbers landed perfectly, and the Warwick followed up on Ash, but that was it. I mean, and he died right away, and Warwick died right away. And Lamia, look at him, he's fine. He's like, yeah, you took 200 health of me. Yeah, that's great for you.
That was a great disperse by Fnatic. I think they all dodged the Tibbers at that point in time, not taking too much damage, and Annie not having her stun up as well, so they were able to just kind of walk out of that. Seeing the wards right through the bush, Janna gets taken. Will she get Never Moved as well from that position? They're waiting for her to move. She goes to ult, so her ult is down, and she goes down. Very good timing there, taking that out, thinking she could save herself. Looks like they will still be able to go for Baron on this one. Caitlyn on the other side, if they do not have the CV, their Janna is down. The CV is also down, and this is going to be a free Baron for Fnatic. A lot of gold, a lot of experience, and a huge power play for them in this game right now. The lanes are only to mid. Like I said, this is not going to allow CLG to farm. Their creep score has not really moved yet. Still only one member above 150 creeps. Now 235 for Shushay.
Wow.
As a melee character, just being able to throw melee slightly ranged with the barrels, and that's pretty much destroying every creep wave he comes up to. So they're able to push their lanes very, very fast and give CLG that much more of a hard time to get out and get what they need to do, get the team fight that they want like they had in the top bush earlier.
And there's the Will of the Ancients for Gragas, I'd say borderline OP item at the moment. It's let's put it that way. In certain team comps, it's extremely, extremely strong, and Europe is dominated by dual AP meta. That just means you are definitely going to have a body in the team who is going to benefit from the additional AP, the additional spell vamp a lot. So that is just going to make X-Peak very, very happy to have that.
Swain is going to definitely be unstoppable. X-Peak very happy about that situation. They see the body slam just destroying those first minions. They're going to go ahead and again give this to X-Peak. He is not even near losing that blue buff, but they're still going to refresh it. Probably had a good 30 seconds to a minute left, and they're going to go ahead and go bottom lane. No, they don't even need to. That lane is pushed already. They may find Caitlyn here a little bit overextended, and even if she isn't, Gragas is going to make sure that she is.
Yes, he will overextend her personally. We have seen that before, and that seems to be a very painful process because most of her health bar turns red when that happens.
Yeah, not something you want to have happen, actually. The never move going down just to kind of disperse everybody from guarding the lane. Minions coming up, and he's even taking down the melee minions right away with those barrels. Never move going down once again. XPK really not worried about wasting mana at this point. Tibber goes down, and it does have the stun as they focus on Shushay. Quite tanky. They will be able to take down St. Vicious. Warwick falls. Jouster taking a lot of damage as he comes out of the Sanguine pool. He will go down as well. Hotshot GG falls to the hands of Shushay. That is 3, 4, and the ace is down. A huge push by Fnatic, and looking very grim for CLG at this point.
Questionable decision from Elements there to drop that Tibbers down and force his team into a team fight, because once that Tibbers is down, that's a large investment, and you just don't want to just say, well, you drop Tibbers, I'm gonna hang back here where it's safe. So it's basically, it's him saying go, and that was not a good go at all.
Wow, it looks like they will go for this one. Nunu taking the first one. You're going to go for the ultimate. XPK will be the one taking, and it looks like this will be game. However, they do have 3 members coming up right now, so they may be able to push him off. No, it's going to be a 5v2 situation. And ladies and gentlemen, Fnatic able to push CLG back to the 5th place game, and that is a GG. Fnatic wins 2 over CLG, needing 1 here at Dreamhack.